Welcome to another episode of Trinidad Bhojpuri Words and a Phrase. I'm Karen Das. Unfortunately, Vinay Harichan couldn't make it for this episode. He's off with his cutlass, but we promise to keep it sharp. So let's get started with our Kaise Bole segment. Kaise Bole, how do you say Hindustani mein in Hindustani? Kaise Bole festival. Hindustani mein. How do you say festival in Hindustani? Based on your comments, we had, we had Mela. And some made reference to that very popular song, Aaye Bhi Akela, Jaye Bhi Akela, Do Din Ki Zindagi Mein, Do Din Ka Mela.
Do din ki zindagi hai, do din ka mela.
We also had Tyohar, we had Utsav, and Utsav, probably because we've grown so accustomed to hearing Ganesh Utsav. We also had other comments like Nagar, and I think it's really because here in Trinidad and Tobago we have Diwali Nagar, which is very festive around Diwali season, and of course it's a huge gathering of people. So I can understand the contextual usage of Nagar. So those were some common replies to that Kaise Bole segment. Let's check in with Dr. Visham Bhimull of Caribbean Hindustani for festival.
So you mentioned a lot of words there, right? Utsav, which is used commonly now. As a child, I don't remember it being used. You just say in the context of the festival of Ganesh, you just said Ganesh, right? For Ganesh, so the word Ganesh itself was just used, and it was understood it was the festival for Ganesh, or the Ganesh Chaturthi. So Mela, yes. Mela literally means a fair, but it could be used as the context of a celebration. And then Tyohar, from Peggy Mohan's interview, I would have heard it being used. Tyohar is existent in both Trinidad Bhojpuri as well as Hindi. I have not heard a person who speaks Trinidad Bhojpuri use the word Utsav. However, because it has become more popular, the use of the term Ganesh Utsav, which comes from India, us looking back there now, you would hear some speakers using the word, but it was only used in the context of the Ganesh or the Ganesh Utsav. Tyohar by Bhojpuri speakers, and yes, Mela, which is a fair, could also be used for a celebration. And then Nagar, as you mentioned, yes, because people know it in the context of the celebration for Diwali. And again, we see how languages would change the meaning over time based on the context of usage. So it would change from the original meaning. And then I remember I had mentioned Manawi is to celebrate, so forming the noun of that Manai. I also heard old people use for describing or designation of a celebration, which it literally means or a festival.
Another Trinidad Bhojpuri word, AMAAWAS. AMAAWAS. And comments received: new moon, moonless night, first moon, new moon, dark night. So, Dr. Bhimull, AMAAWAS.
Literally means the new moon, right? The night when it is the darkest every month. We know about the AMAAWAS. Also, just AMAAWAS as referred to as the night of Diwali, which is the supposedly darkest night of the year, in and around, give or take 2 weeks, around the same time as Halloween. There's a reason for that. As a child growing up, I would have known the word AMAAWAS being used for the new moon. We did the Punwasi, which is full moon, right? So I guess from an AMAAWAS to a Punwasi is a fortnight, and from a Punwasi to the other AMAAWAS would be at a fortnight, which would form the month or the cycle of the moon itself. Standard Hindi, which shares common root with the same word AMAAWAS, which means new moon, is AMAAWASYA, right? So which would be a formal way of saying it in Shuddh Hindi or modern standard Hindi. But in Trinidad Bhojpuri, AMAAWAS, as per usage, it means new moon.
How about a little midweek sweetness? LADDOO, CHARHAAWAYLAA. LADDOO, we know. CHARHAAWAY, we've done before. So this was pretty straightforward. LADDOO, CHARHAAWAYLAA.
Right. So we did CHARHAAWAY, which is the infinitive to offer, right? And we had explored that it's from Chardhe, which means to cause to rise, Chardhawe. With respect to usage here, it's the conjugated verb of the infinitive, CHARHAAWAYLAA, which is he, she, it, you, or one offers. It could be used in any of those contexts. Obviously, we just use the expression here. So to give it further meaning, we have to see it in the broader context of what excerpt of conversation it was taken from. So Laddu Charawela could mean one offers Laddu, could mean he offers Laddu, she offers Laddu, it offers Laddu, or you offer Laddu. Again, the meaning would be based on the context.
Let's move on to another Trinidad Bhojpuri word, Laphangiya. Not much interaction for this one though, or except for Sudhir in Fiji, who says Laphangiya or Laphang is a person who roams around meaninglessly with no desire to work. We have many of them here, Laphangiya. So, Dr. Bhimull.
Right. I really never really heard the word used in by growing up or by speakers, but there's this song Mangi Kareli Ke Chokha from Suriname, which is a Bhojpuri song. It says Adi Adi Ratiya Ke Awe Laphangiya, which is the iya and then which we explored before, sim laphang with adding iya to it, right? So it gives pejoratively. So it in Hindi is lafang, lafang. So it is really a brute, somebody who is uncouth, somebody who is worthless, somebody who, yeah, just lahi, or we use the word chuchuawe and stuff before in that context of using a verb with this noun. So in the song Mangi Kareli Ke Chokha, referring to the Budhwa Beiman, which is the old man or the old geezer, that Laphangiya. Adi Adi Ratiya in the middle of the night, Ke Awe Laphangiya.
आधी आधी रतिया के आवे लफनिया आधी आधी रतिया के आवे लफनिया
The old man comes in the middle of the night. Inquired outside the diaspora in India and Fiji and stuff. They all would have identified the Woodbury language is still alive as a a wordless person, a person who chuchuawe or bhatkela, roam all over aimlessly and basically doesn't work and have no purpose and contribute in life, either to family or to the community. That's essentially what it means.
So, a Laphangiya could be described as a jungle tour, but not all jungle tours are Laphangiyas. Got it. We usually wrap up the week with a food-related word, PISAAN. Sounds a lot like pise, crush or grind. So Nalini Mohan confirmed this with her comments, pisna or pisna, to grind. And she gave an example. Hum masala pise la roj. I grind the masala every day. Sudhir Sharma, crushed or ground ingredients. Pisai, grind. Pisabai, I will grind it soon. Abhi hum masala pisabai. Pisan. So, what say you, Pisan? We had popular comments, flour. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with the texture, meaning floury or powdery. That was a common response based on text messages as well. So, Dr. Bhimull, Pisan.
In the context of the usage in the same song, I think Adi Adi Ratiya Ke Awe Laphangiya
आधी आधी रतिया के आवे लफनिया
O Khol Ke Kewariya Bolaile Dulhaniya
खोल के केवड़िया बोलैले दुल्हनिया
Naihar Ke Sanal Sanawal Pisan.
नैहर के सानल सनावल पिसान बुढ़वा
Again, we use this word Risane. Sanal Sanawal means well mixed. Pisan. Now, yes, pisan comes from pise, which means to grind. Pisan is ground flour in general. It could be of beans, lentils, or rice, but in use and context, it's often or mostly used to refer to ground wheat or flour as pisan, because I guess it was a staple with respect to daily foods. I think we had spoken before about the flour itself. White flour, the Trinidad Bhojpuri word is pulawa, which is loaned from English. But this pisan is like atta, so it's whole grain ground flour. It's not white flour specifically. So you could say whole grain or flour ground from wheat, but it could be used in the context of anything ground, really, like ground rice or the ground stuff we use for satwa, which we had spoken about before. So the flour of any bean or pulse, with respect to using it for cooking.
Wait. Hello everyone, welcome to Hey, thank you so much for watching and for contributing to the research through your comments and your participation. The Trinidad Bhojpuri Words and Phrase is a KDC production in collaboration with Dr. Visham of Caribbean Hindustani and Vinay Harichan of the Cutlass magazine. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.